If I can try and be as prepared as possible, it's not going to be like some sort of chaotic environment. There's so much stuff.
I was after 5 if you have 5.
Evidently that was a mistake. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel, and while I'm at it, welcome back to 2021. Obviously last year was a bit of a crazy year. We did a bit of homeschooling for a while there because of the virus, and Lord knows we might have that happen again. So we've had about, 4 or 5 weeks of school holidays so far over the Christmas break, and there will be starting a new school year in 2.5 weeks, provided that everything goes to plan. So I wanted to make sure I was as prepared as possible. Last time I touched base with you guys, I think I was planning on doing my pantry, which I'm still working on, and trust me, I think you guys are gonna like it, but good things take time. So I will come back to that. For now, I am just going to give you guys a little bit of an update and what I'm doing in terms of staying organized. So I'll show you guys a little bit of what I've done so far. So we've got Louis, we've marked off all of the things that he's got. There's just a few things left on each of the kids' lists, like really nothing. And then each of their piles with all of their cupboard books. So feeling pretty organized in that respect. But one respect that I'm not feeling organized in is this sideboard here. So this is IKEA cabinetry that I actually put in myself not long after we moved into the house. We were really big on having storage in the house. And this sideboard in particular has been absolutely amazing. It's just the Metod IKEA kitchen cabinetry. And I just installed it. So it was, you'll see, it's not on any legs. It's mounted to the wall. And then it's got this white tabletop on top. And then it's got plenty of storage space in it. So when we were doing homeschooling on our lovely big stone table here, it was just so easy for the kids to be able to walk over, grab their books for the day, grab their pens out and start learning. However, in the whole Christmas craze and everything, and the kids being home and doing art and all that kind of stuff, they've gotten completely out of control. Our first cupboard here is where we're supposed to have just plates and stuff. But you'll see we've got like some things of slime. I've got some fabric down here from when I was working on a costume for Heidi's dance. In here is just awful. Like we've got a big container here that's got lots of construction and stuff in it. We've got packets of different things and stencils and everything, but it's just not neat. We've got these water balloons of the kids, and then these are all of the kids' books that we used for home learning. I do have folders in our office where all of that stuff is supposed to go. And then up here, again, it's like organized. We've got pencils and a few pens in here, erasers and stamps. But then the kids have just put like their artwork. I don't know if you guys have this issue, but I have kids who like take a piece of paper and draw a tiny little thing on it and then want to keep it forever. This is more my drawer where we've got more like, Sharpies and stuff that I don't want the kids using as such. And then we've got learning stuff. So we've got the home readers, we've got some flashcards and things, whiteboard, we've got some learning tools in here. And then I've got these Ziploc bags with like worksheets and things. Again, it's relatively organized. It's just not neat. It's gotten a bit out of control. Then down in this cupboard here, we've got some more learning stuff. We've got some paints and art stuff. And then in our last cabinet, we've got mess. We've got so much Christmas wrap and stuff that I just sort of, when I was wrapping and I was doing it in a hurry, I quickly shoved in there. I bought some new paper the other day, which has just been shoved in there. Play-Doh, which just didn't fit in the other cupboard, so here it is. Printer, diaries. There's so much stuff. And so obviously nobody really knows what's going to happen this year in terms of like if we're going to have to do home learning at some stage again. So I want to be prepared, because I find that if I'm not prepared and I'm sort of thrown off center, then my kids feel like that. So I'm like, if I can try and be as prepared as possible, then if the time comes that is something we have to do, it's not going to be like some sort of chaotic environment. Something that I used as a massive inspiration is a video I've been watching on Skillshare. If you guys don't know what Skillshare is, it's like an online learning platform that has literally thousands and thousands of different videos on so many different topics. If you're looking to purchase an annual subscription, I think it works out to be about $10 a month. And with that, you get unlimited access to all of the videos that they have online, and it's all ad-free as well, which makes learning a whole lot easier when you're not being stopped in the middle of your class to hear about something that's completely unrelated. And while I'm at it, I did want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring a portion of today's video. During this time of year, it really goes a long way. And I really appreciate being able to work with companies that I do support and I do actually use myself. Getting back to the lesson that inspired today's video, it was called Holistic Interior Design: Transform Your Personal Space for Well-Being, and that's by a duo called Clear Studios. So the class itself comprises of about 20 lessons, I think it was. And to do the entire class, it takes about 80 or 82 minutes, which isn't really long. The thing that I found particularly helpful was that when you're watching these videos, you have like your toolbar along the side, which has like the contents of all of the lessons you're watching, which if you want to skip forward or if you want to go back or if you want to pause and come back later, that makes it super, super easy. There's also a function on there where you can take notes, which is really helpful, particularly if you work predominantly online. Today, I wrote all of my notes out in front of me because that was actually one of the suggestions that they gave in the video. One of the tips that Mary gave in the video, which I thought was super cool, was actually drawing out each of the cupboards that I was going to be reorganizing and then cutting out pieces of paper, which does sort of seem a bit finicky, but I promise, bear with me, it makes total sense. And then basically cutting them to scale and then being able to place them so I could visualize exactly where I wanted to put everything and to make sure that everything was going to fit. Over here, this is the cupboard contents that I've done under the heading observation. So I'm observing my space and everything that I need to place. Then my function and intention, I've gone and done research on different types of containers that are affordable and that will serve the purpose that I need them to, and written those next to everything that I'm going to put in it. And then over here, I've gone and marked out the sizes of those containers and placed them in the cupboards to scale, which, yes, does seem really, really finicky, but it saves me from going to stores and buying things that just aren't going to fit in the cupboards properly, or wasting my money and wasting my time. So being able to do this first was really helpful for me to visualize, whether I wanted to find a better way to organize each of the items that would allow for more space in other areas. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be using this technique again because I found it extremely helpful for this kind of purpose in particular. So if you're like me and you really enjoy the whole organizational space, I highly recommend going and checking that class out. Or you might want to try other topics, like some of the ones that I've done are classes in interior design, productivity, organization, art. Or you might want to try something that you haven't tried before. For me, that's like photography and creative writing. They're two topics which I'm really interested in and would really like to try out this year. So really, the world is your oyster. Like, get on there, have a look, see what's there, and see what you might be able to achieve if you sign up and give it a go. And the great thing about it is the first 1,000 people to click the link below are going to be able to get a free trial of Skillshare anyway. So, I mean, what can you lose? You go on, you sign up, you give it a few classes, and then if you love it, by all means, go and continue your subscription. So even though nobody really knows what 2021 is going to bring, at least you have the power to sort of get creative, step out of your comfort zone and achieve a little bit of personal growth that never goes astray, and you will absolutely be thankful for in the end. Anyway, now that that plan is done, I'm going to head out and go and grab some of these shopping items. Wish me luck. Okay, so I am out at Kmart and I've got my list and I'm ready to just like grab everything I need. Where I fail is when I go into the store and try and find everything when I'm there. Like, it's so much easier to look online and measure everything out and double check and check that everything's in stock. Mind you, I did not check if everything was in stock today, so I'm just crossing my fingers and my toes, but it looks like this store has a fair bit of stock, just maybe not in the containers I'm looking for. I definitely need some of these. I was hoping they would have the clear tall ones as well, but I don't see them. Damn it, they do not have what I'm looking for here. Maybe I'll need to check some other stores. So I don't know what possessed me to just like play it by ear and just go to the shop and see if it was there, but evidently that was a mistake, a big mistake. Huge. Okay, so I was looking at these things, but I wanted them to stack, so I wasn't sure if they do. Let me try. No, I think they do. Okay, perfect. Yes. Let's get a couple of these. Okay, I've gotten some of these. They're like 3 packs of like zipper wallets. I have a few of these already, and they're like the A4 size. So they're good for like worksheets and stuff. And then they have the smaller ones as well. I think that's a 5-pack. So I'm going to grab, are they different? No, they're the same. To put smaller things like flashcards and whatnot in. And these things. But the good thing about them is that these ones are plastic. So if they do get a bit dirty from like the kids' pens or anything like that, even though these ones are really just for paper, so they shouldn't, they can wipe clean. So that just leaves this huge overly filled trolley and like 6 more items to find. Hi there, I'm just trying to, I'm calling to see if you have a couple of items in stock.
Yeah, sure, what are you up to today?
Yeah, so the first one I'm looking for, it's like a clear tall container with a lid.
Yeah, yeah, I able to find it one. Were you just after the one for that one today?
I was actually after 3. You don't happen to have 3, do you?
Yes, so yeah, we definitely have 3 here.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, I'll grab them now.
Yeah, that'd be perfect, thanks. The second one is like a small, narrow, clear drawer. I was after 5, if you have 5.
I believe you do.
Yay!
Yeah, so we've got a 5 here as well for that one.
Amazing. Just one more thing. So that is similar to the one I just gave you. It's a medium and narrow clear drawer.
How many were you after today?
Just 3 of those.
3. Okay, yes, we have 4. So yes, we've definitely got 3 here.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Is there any way that I might be able to pop in like first thing tomorrow morning to pick those up? Yay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Alright, no worries. Enjoy your day.
You too. Thank you. Bye. So, Ave, that saved me a task. Part of me is like, should I just go? Like, do I just go now? Because I'm going to be honest, it's about 30 to 40 minutes away, the shop that has all of the items. So part of me is like, yeah, nah, we're not doing that today. But then the other part of me is like, do we just get it out of the way? So then you're at home, you've got all the stuff, you can just like get going with it and not have to worry. Okay, I've managed to get the last few items from Kmart. I feel like up until this point, it's been a pretty lengthy process from like going and writing out everything in the notebook and then going and sticking everything in the rightful places. But from here, it should be pretty easy. I can just go straight over to this cupboard and start cleaning. Having said that, it always takes way longer than I think it's going to take. So I'm not going to go and give myself like a time limit. I'm just gonna start doing it and see how we go. Wish me luck.
Downtown we let it go, sunset high and our bodies low. Blood rush in a hazy glow. My hands, your bones. Loose up, we break the scene. One step deep as you fall to me. Hot clap, we skip a beat. Count 1, 2, 3. And don't you stop the music, get into it. Won't you dance with me? Find a place and lose it. You can do it. Won't you dance with me? Move your feet and feel it in the space between. You gotta give yourself a moment. Let your body be. Downtown we let it go. Sunset high and our bodies low. Blood rush in a hazy glow. My hands, your bones. Loose up, we break the scene. One step deep as you fall to me. Hot clap, we skip a beat. Count 1, 2, 3. Don't you stop the music, get into it. Won't you dance with me? Find a place and lose it. You can do it. Won't you dance with me? Move your feet and feel it in the space between. You gotta give yourself a moment. Let your body be. Your name I'll never know as we get down in the road below. Caught up in an overflow. My hands, your bones. Wide-eyed, you look at me. Set on fire until the
Hello again, guys. I am finally finished all of that. Please excuse my super dorky shirt today. My kids do like surf lifesaving on the weekends, and I somehow got myself roped into team managing this year. I finally finished this whole sideboard. I did manage to get it all done in one afternoon, but it was getting late, so I thought I would save this last part until today. So here we are. I'll give you guys a little tour, although I'm pretty sure you guys got to see the majority of it. And as per usual, this video is probably getting pretty long. So I'll give a very, very fast run through so you guys can see exactly how everything came together. So in the first cabinet here, we've got our printer still down on the bottom. What I would love to do is get one of those wire pull-out drawers that I can drill into the base here and pull it out. So then I don't even have to like pull it completely out and put it on the bench to be able to print. Then over here, I've just got a few of our tech things. So I've got a couple of the kids' iPads on these two and my laptop down here. We've got each of the kids' names, Hadi Archie Louie, Hadi Archie Louie. This is all of their homework to do throughout the week. And then when it's complete, they can pop it in here. So already they've got a few bits and pieces in there. That'll be Archie's work. They haven't obviously gone back to school yet, but this is just some revision stuff I thought they could do prior to going back. And then in here we've got coloured paper, regular printing paper, and then we've got card in here, which both myself and the kids use. I think I might even get some non-slip mats to put on these shelves just so the paper trays don't go wonky. That's probably my favorite cupboard just because everything is very, very clear about where it is. It's actually very hard to mess things up. Moving on to the second cupboard. This one's a little bit more colorful, but you get that with kids' construction stuff. Down in this big container here, we've got all of the Play-Doh and then Play-Doh tools in there. We've got our stencils just up here sitting on the shelf. Here we've got Heidi's clay jewelry kit, which has tools, all of her clay and findings and everything in it. And then here we've got painting tools, some straws. I couldn't really find anywhere else to put them, so we'll probably end up, something else will probably wind up in there. And then in this one, we've got some plaster pieces for painting, which we had, I think, from Easter. We've got a little Indigenous snake to paint in here, and then the kids collected some rocks which they wanted to paint, so I popped those in there as well. Down here we've got all of the paint, so we've got paint pens, watercolor paints, poster paints, all kinds of paints. This one here, I think we put sticky back foam, and then we've got some felt sheets in there as well. And then in this one we've got, I'll show you guys this one. We've got pipe cleaners, which I don't actually have bagged, but all this other stuff here, this one has like pegs and wooden things in. Then we've got one that has stickers and stuff in. And then this one here has like some cut up collage type things that they could stick, pom-poms and everything to stick on pictures to make fun collages. And the good thing about putting them in these little bags like this is the kids can take the entire box out and just open one bag at a time. And then also if we were to go like camping or something like that, we could just throw a couple of these little bags in, and then that's a way of keeping things organized when we go away as well. This drawer is fairly self-explanatory. We've got our stapler, spare staples, and a whole lot of sharpeners there. And then we've got a whole bunch of sticky tapes in here as well. This is all of our telling the time flashcards. We've got some little blocks that I put together when we were in lockdown just to help kids with, that was a math one, that was an English one, sight words, more whiteboard pens. Just as I had before, there's a colouring one, we've got English skills for Louie, I think that's year 2 maths. So as you can see, we've just got these Ziploc folders with a whole lot of worksheets and everything that are already pre-printed. So I can just go through them and give them to the kids if we were to go into home learning, or if I felt like the kids needed a bit of extra work to work on. And then off to the side, we've just got my labeler. I love this thing so much. Even though it's like a manual one, it's not a mechanical one, this is one of my favorite things that I own. Weird, right? Our third cupboard is probably the most basic, but I actually got rid of so much stuff that I didn't really even need this cupboard as much. So on top here, I've just popped, we've got a flower press, and this is another painting item, but it didn't fit with all the other stuff. So I've just sat it there. It's just a boomerang for one of the kids to paint. And then on the other side, there's a little bit of clay on there. The kids just use this tray and these two. There were actually things from school that we had laminated, but the kids like to use them as mats on the table to use with their Play-Doh or with their clay. So we've got those in there, just basically messy mats they are. And then here I've got 1, 2, 3 paper trays, each for the kids to put their artwork in. So I figure if they put their art that they like in here, then at the end of the month or whatever, I can go through it and then put the pieces that we'll keep into folders and do a bit of a cull. This whole bottom drawer is all outdoor play stuff. So we've got some bubbles and water bombs in that one. We've got some various clays and slimes in that one. And then in here, I've just got the sidewalk chalk. Up here, we've got drawer 2. Once again, this is pretty self-explanatory. This is more for the kids to use. Originally, this cutlery tray was in our other drawer, but I've got them both in here now, and I think this is going to work out better because the kids can just lift out the entire tray and put that on the table when they are colouring or crafting or whatever. And then our last cupboard is once again just for spare plates. I did have a few extra bowls and things that I've relocated to other parts of the kitchen, so this now is really just spare plates. Anyway, I'm feeling so good that I've now done that. I'm ready for the school year to start. We're ready to start getting homework again, starting to get into the routine of it. I thrive off it, and I know the kids thrive off it as well, and they've actually already used a lot of this stuff already just to do their various art projects that they like to do throughout the week. So I'm pretty happy with how the kids have managed to keep things organized. I think really the goal for me is always to just find a way to organize things that is easy to stay organized. So crossing my fingers on my toes, but I will keep you guys updated on that as I go along. Anyway, I'm gonna cap this video here because again, I'm sure it's probably very, very long, but I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you like these kinds of videos because I'm more than happy to do more. If you haven't already, go and click that Skillshare link down below. As I said, it's a free trial, so you may as well give it a go. I definitely honestly recommend it because there is just so much info out there and so many cool tips, like the ones that I came across that I never would have thought of, even though I consider myself to be a fairly organized person. I really enjoy organizing and decorating. I still found some new information, so that was very cool. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Downtown, we let it go. Sunset high and our bodies low. Blood rush in a hazy glow. My